Hello students, today we'll see the next topic in the thermogravimetry chapter. In the previous lecture, we will discuss about some applications such as the decomposition of magnesium hydroxide, then decomposition of the calcium oxalate monohydrate, then we have seen that the decomposition of copper sulfate pentahydrate. So in this lecture, we will discuss about the next application, that is the decomposition of the polymers. What are the analysis of mixtures and mixtures of alkaline earth oxalates. So let us see one by one. So the first one is the decomposition of the polymers. So the effect of heat on the polymeric material varies with the nature of the polymer, ranging from natural polymers like cellulose, which start to decompose below 100 degrees Celsius, polyamides, which are stable up to 400 degrees Celsius. So the presence of additives and the atmosphere used also affect the changes greatly. When we have heated a sample in an inert atmosphere, polymeric material react by the two general routes, often related to their mode of polymerization and the heat of polymerization. So they may either depolymerize or carbonize. So the polymers such as the polymethyl methacrylate, that is PMMA, and polystyrene may be depolymerized or unzipped back to the monomer. So this is the random season of polyalkenes life. Polyethylene will produces unsaturated hydrocarbon from chain fragments of varying length like butenes, hexenes, and dienes. So these are the some polymers such as the polypropylene, then polyethylene, then polyvinyl chloride, and then tetrafluoroethylene. So these are the some polymers which are decomposed whenever heated at higher temperature, it will decompose. So look at what will happen when they are decomposed. So the kinetics of this random process is approximately first order, and the temperature of the degradation are much affected by the substitution. So if there is some kind of substitution is there, then there is a difference in the degradation temperature. So thus, with the fluorine substitution, polytetrafluoroethylene decompose at, decompose at much higher temperature than the polyethylene, and with a methyl substitution, polypropylene at lower temperature than the polyethylene, which is shown in the figure 1. So the polyvinyl chloride (PVC) and the polyacrylonitrile may eliminate small molecules initially and form or unsaturated links and cross links before finally degrading by complex reactions to a char which will oxidize in air. So this is the particular polymer. Whenever we have heated this particular polymer at higher temperature, it will give rise to its corresponding monomer along with the formation of HCl. So if you consider, this is the example of polyvinyl chloride polymer, and whenever we have heated, it will give rise to the polyene. Okay, so monomer of the polyvinyl chloride is obtained in this case. So this stage is shown in the figure 1 as the mass loss of about 60%. So the polymers containing polar groups such as the polyamides, that is nylon 66, may absorb moisture, which is usually lost below 100 degrees Celsius. Sometimes in stages if the moisture is in different environments. So the cellulose polymers, polyesters, resins, and phenol formaldehyde polymers have extremely complex decomposition schemes, which eliminating small molecules, often flammable or toxic, and eventually leaving a charred mass. If polymer melts during the degradation, then there is a formation of coke. Okay. Then the next one is the analysis of mixture. So when we wish to analyze an unknown mixture of chemical substance in a real sample, several options are open to us. So we may use wide range of the separation techniques such as the chromatography to isolate each component of the mixture, which may then be identified and measured separately, or we may use a solution technique such as the inductively coupled plasma spectrometry, which can determine all the elements present simultaneously. However, neither of the above methods is suitable to the entire range of the solids, from minerals to the polymers, and both requires a change in the original material before analysis. So the thermogravimetry shows the differences between the behaviors of the substances on heating, and if those behaviors are sufficiently different on the temperature scale, the individual reactions of the substances may be identified and measured. Then in the analysis of mixture, we have to consider the mixtures of alkaline earth oxalates. Okay, so we have already seen how the decomposition of the various kinds of compounds, such as calcium oxalate monohydrate, is there. So similarly, the oxalates of magnesium, strontium, barium are also precipitated under similar conditions, but decompose in the somewhat different manner. So the magnesium oxalate dihydrate break down in only two stages. Firstly, to the anhydrous oxalate by about 250 degrees Celsius, and then directly to the oxide by 500 degrees Celsius. So look at in this case what happened. In the first case, up to 200 degrees Celsius, there is only moisture is removed. Okay, so we can get a magnesium oxalate only up to 250 degrees Celsius, and after that, whenever we have heated the particular sample at 500 degrees Celsius, then we can get that the magnesium oxide. Similarly, strontium oxalate monohydrate and barium oxalate hemihydrate lose water by 250 degrees Celsius, and anhydrous oxalate decompose to its carbonate by 500 degree Celsius. The strontium carbonate decomposes between about 850 and 1100 degrees Celsius, while the barium carbonate is stable until even at a higher temperature. So these are the some differences. So look at the particular diagram, that is a Illingam diagram for the decomposition of various carbonates of the alkaline earth oxalate. So in that what happen if you consider calcium, magnesium, strontium and barium. So there is a difference in the uh, free energy, or we can say the change in the free energy with respect to the decomposition of these carbonates. So the comparison of the thermodynamic decomposition of the metal oxides or metal carbonates may be done by the construction of such Illingham's diagram. So this involves the plotting of delta G, that is the standard Gibbs change in the standard Gibbs free energy against the temperature for reactions of importance. For example, metal carbonates, whenever we have heated, it will give rise to the metal oxides plus CO2. So for this reaction, delta G, change in the Gibbs free energy, and the delta H, change in the enthalpy, are generally positive at 298 degree Kelvin, or we can say that 25 degrees Celsius, and delta S, that is a change in entropy, is very positive since gaseous carbon dioxide is produced. Because gaseous carbon dioxide, there is a somewhat entropy is there, and that's why it is very positive. For calcium carbonate at 298 degree Kelvin, the standard change in the Gibbs free energy, it is about 130.1 kilojoule per mole. Then enthalpy corresponding to this reaction, it is about standard enthalpy. Standard change in the standard enthalpy, it is about 177.9 kilojoule per mole, and the change in the standard entropy, it is about 160.4 joule per uh, Kelvin and mole. So the slope of the Illingham plot is plotted as dabba delta G divided by dabba delta T at constant pressure is equal to minus delta S0. So and is negative since delta G standard change in the standard Gibbs free energy is positive. This means that the standard change in the Gibbs free energy becomes less positive and finally possesses through zero to becomes negative as the temperature increases, and when delta G0 is zero, the equilibrium pressure of the carbon dioxide is 1 atmosphere and the carbonate will decompose. Okay, so in this way there is a, we can say that there is a relation between the kinetics of that particular decomposition. Okay, so this is all about the mixture of alkaline or oxalate, that is the analysis of mixture of alkaline or oxalate. Okay, in the next lecture we will discuss about the next topic. Thank you.